Hi guys, Noah Bombard, managing editor at MassLive, and I'm here along Route 9 in Shrewsbury, where lo and behold it is actually snowing out. I'll give you a little look at what it's doing out here in case you're not fortunate enough to be out here, and then we'll talk about what it's going to do a little bit later. So like I said, I'm out here on along Route 9 in Shrewsbury, and we are getting the first of the snow for today, which is not a huge storm in terms of accumulation amounts, unless you're in the northwestern part of Mass, where they're expecting to get up to 8 or 9 inches, maybe 10 inches in some locations, could be an inch or two lower than that. Here in central Mass, we're estimated to get about 3 to 4 inches today. But the bigger story isn't the snow that's coming down now, it's what could happen later when this switches over to rain and freezing rain. And that's what the National Weather Service is most concerned about right now, and that could impact your evening commute. For those of you who are out and about today, a lot of schools, most of the schools canceled for the day. I think that was probably a wise choice depending on where you live and the timing of this storm. It's kind of just light and fluffy snow here in central Massachusetts at the moment, but it will switch over later on today as the temperatures kind of edge up a little bit. So that will be the bigger concern, the icing roads. If you're in Boston or on the East Coast, you'll get a little bit of this today, and then it's supposed to switch over to rain pretty quickly, and freezing rain. So that's the bigger concern there. But roads crews are doing a pretty good job of keeping up so far. We just got word that the speed limit on the Mass Pike has been reduced to 40 miles an hour, so you'll want to take it easy out there, unless you're that guy with the big Hummer cruising down the highway at 80 miles an hour in the middle of the snowstorm. So you, of course, have nothing to worry about. So the rest of us, though, need to keep it slow. I'll flip it around a little bit here so you can see traffic going by. It's moving at a pretty good clip. Not too much to get upset about over here at the moment. Like I said, I'm in the town of Shrewsbury along Route 9. People moving along. Snow started about an hour and a half ago out here. It kind of started all at once across the state, moving from west to east, but it wasn't much of a delay from one area to the next. So it is starting to accumulate out here, though. I don't think we have much at this point, probably about half an inch or so. Like I said, we should get about 3 to 4 inches here in central Massachusetts, so not too much to shovel there. The bigger issue will be if it turns over to rain or freezing rain on top of that. Then it gets to be a little bit difficult to deal with, and then also the roads and the slipperiness. So definitely have some ice melt or salt on hand if you live in central Mass or on the eastern end of the state. On the western end of the state, you're probably just going to be mostly shoveling it. So the Berkshires, you guys are getting the most of it with, like I said, about 8 inches in some locations. National Weather Service predicted that there could be some pockets of 9 or 10 inches when you get way up there in the northwestern part of the state here. Donna out in Western Mass commenting on the video, saying they're getting hunkered down there in Western Mass, snowing good out there. Yeah, it's coming down pretty good here too. It came down kind of fast and furious in the beginning, then it slowed up a little bit, and then it started getting a little bit more intense. Michael Blow saying it's nasty in Holyoke already. Yeah, we have some folks out that way as well. Who are saying it's coming down pretty good. So I see a lot of cars moving at a really good clip out here, which is usually not a great idea to do in a snowstorm, but people do it anyway. So unfortunately, you have to learn the hard way. Kind of point you back out to Route 9 here in a minute. Most all of the businesses around here are open. Not too much closed today other than the schools. So if you do get a chance to get out and about, there's certainly plenty open. You don't have to worry about that. Like I said, if you're just joining us, the speed limit on the Massachusetts Turnpike has been reduced to 40 miles an hour. So you'll want to watch your speed if you're out there. A couple people from Western Mass commenting that it's looking pretty bad out there. So you guys are going to keep most of the snow, unless you're in the Springfield area. If you're down by the Connecticut border, there's a good chance that that could turn over to rain too, or to freezing rain at some point. So you want to watch that. Those of you who are up in the northern part of the state have the better chance of keeping the bigger snow amounts there. Which, for most of us, for myself at least, I'd rather get a foot of white powdery snow than 5 inches of slush and freezing rain. Much more of a pain to deal with, much more dangerous than fluffy snow that you can just shovel or plow out of the way. So take another look out there. Not too many people at Five Guys today, so it's a little early yet. So hopefully not too much of this left. It's still middle of February. We could get several more storms, but this is not looking like it's going to be too fierce of a one. Like I said, except for the freezing rain. And if you don't have any ice melt or salt, you probably want to join the throngs of people running out and grabbing that at the last minute, because you might need that for this one. So, like I said, right now looking pretty light and fluffy and not too threatening. But it is starting to get nasty out there in some areas, as some of our commenters have pointed out here. So, all right, we'll take a quick look over at the traffic. If I can get over out to the other side of the highway. Maybe not. There was some discussion at the National Weather Service this morning as to the ice accumulation and to how much we might get. There are a couple of areas where they're talking about maybe getting as much of a quarter of an inch, which would be pretty significant. That doesn't sound like a lot, and it certainly isn't a lot when you're talking about snow, but when you're talking about ice sitting on power lines, sitting on tree branches, sitting on the road, that can be a lot more dangerous. So you want to keep an eye out for that. So we'll keep you updated with storm updates today. We've got a couple of weather reports on MassLive.com if you want to take a look, particularly at the maps that the National Weather Service puts out, looking at likelihood of where the snow will hit, how much you'll get, ice accumulation, that sort of thing. We've got all that information right on there for you to take a look at. And everybody, keep it safe out there, and we'll see you later. Thanks.